What up, dude?
What up?
What's up, everybody? I got Coach JT, Charlie. We're at Riptide, and we're coming together to bring to you guys like a little just conversation on the state of CrossFit and everything that's kind of going on right now in CrossFit, specifically the games community, and also outside of CrossFit with like the World Fitness Project and Hyrox, how there's a parallel there and how, you know, things are playing out. And then tying it all together to like, what is CrossFit? What really is it? And so, JT, tell us a little bit about how long you've been doing this for, coaching CrossFit, a little bit about you.
I've been doing CrossFit since 1962. I joke, I kid.
He's 57 years old.
Ageless, CrossFit is doing this for me. I actually started in 2014, so I had a friend who started CrossFit, and I used to play basketball with him all the time. So I was a young buck. I was in my mid-20s, and the only thing I was doing at the time was like, let's just play some basketball, let's get outside, breathe hard. And then my buddy, who was like probably like 160 at the time, he lost like 10, 15 pounds. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, how did you, what's the secret formula, you know? And then he's like, I've been doing this thing, it's called CrossFit. And I'm like, what's a CrossFit? And so he told me about it. And then 3 months later, I was like, okay, fine, I'll come check it out. Ironically, he ended up moving for another job and he came back. And then I came in here with my now wife, Christina. We were like, what is this? What are we doing? And then suddenly, 10 plus years later, it's a staple of my day. So I basically, no matter what, I don't make excuses for myself. I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then 45 minutes later, I'm like, this is the best decision I made today. And it just makes every part of my day a little easier.
That's awesome, dude. Love it. And you've been coaching for how long now?
2018, I would say. When did you get here?
2017, my second go.
Okay. So Santi came back and it was like, hey, you seem to annoy people and want to do stuff. Do you want to coach here? And I said, okay. And then it's taken some time, but I think people listen every once in a while.
They do. Proud of your progress, your work, and you're obviously clearly very knowledgeable, very smart at this stuff, very good at it. And so you've been around long enough to see changes in CrossFit, specifically, you know, the connection that we have with headquarters, me being on seminar staff, but also the games community. And so, you know, just a couple of days ago, I wanted to touch base with you, talk a little bit about what's going on and bring it to the members of Riptide, who hopefully will take the time to watch our rant and our conversations like you don't get enough of us
we'll try not
at
to
the
talk
gym
too
already.
long.
But also kind of bring some life to everything that's happening and bring some context. I guess our perspective and our opinions on this. There's no right or wrong behind this. But to start, I guess we could preface with the bad news. The bad news is that last year at the CrossFit Games athlete Lazar Dukic drowned and lost his life, unfortunately. Something to that level of tragedy has never occurred in CrossFit. So it was a really, the biggest hit the community has ever experienced. And so it shook up the entire CrossFit world, our world, and particularly, more specifically, the games community. So with that being said, several athletes this year are discontent with the way CrossFit headquarters, specifically the games team, have handled, or people at headquarters, and I can't speak specifically to who or what, just because I don't know, how they handled the situation. They had a third-party investigation team. They came with some results, and it seems like there's a lack of transparency there. And the athletes want to know more, and they wanted bigger changes. Who are some of these athletes?
I know Brett Fitkowski, Pat Vellner, some of the leading names in CrossFit the last couple of years, athlete-wise, but also some of the, pioneers in just trying to make sure that athletes have better safety, kind of setting up for future athletes. Because CrossFit, started a long time ago with, hey man, let's go throw down 3 workouts in my ranch back here. First place gets $100 and some Bud Light,
That's
and
it.
now it's become this giant professional sport, and we see athletes just trying to build up. So it's it's just these current athletes are just trying to pave the way for newer athletes coming along, just for safety protocols. So their hearts and minds are in the right place. So
really big names: Annie Thorisdottir,
Chandler Smith.
I'm a big fan of her. Have always been. And so they're using their influence in the sport, their following, especially somebody like Annie Thorisdottir, right? But Chandler Smith, I think, has a pretty big following too. And they're speaking out and they're saying, hey, we're not doing the Open this year because, and so they're putting out a relatively positive message. They're like, we want to see more change. We want to see bigger changes. And if I'm one of them, I kind of get it because there's so much sentiment, passion, something that makes CrossFit very unique, tying it into what is CrossFit is it impacts and profoundly all of our lives.
100%.
And so just like it's impacted our lives at our level, the games have impacted their lives, careers. It's given them so much opportunity and leverage to do so many things with their lives. So there's so much sentiment and passion there. And in my opinion, they're trying to use that to see if next year there's more changes.
I mean, I didn't know Lazar personally, but I remember seeing a lot of behind the scenes stuff of him. He seemed like a wonderful human being, and he was a brother, a son, and to have someone that you don't really know kind of, pass away and it's the games, it's a high level event. You have to be super conditioned and all this stuff, the elite of the elite, but to have someone lose their life is always a tragedy. So I kind of feel for these higher level athletes who are just like, hey man, we want to move forward. We want to see changes. I mean, because obviously they think this should have never happened, as well, I agree as well. And I think they're taking the steps forward to be like, hey, I'm going to use my voice to kind of let's drive change. So they might not be competing this year and it affects them personally, but for someone like me, the Open has always just been a staple of community. Let's get together. Leading up to it, people are in the middle of life. They're like, hey, what are we doing? And then suddenly you get 3 Fridays in a row. We're like, I'm just going to throw down with friends. I'm going to have a couple of adult beverages after. And then I'm going to, I'm not a super competitive person, but it's a good opportunity to be like, where am I at in my life? How do I get better at these things in the gym? And those things kind of transfer to my life, because if I can find structure and trying to figure out how to get better at my muscle ups, that also spills into how do I become a better partner, better caretaker for my daughter, just trying to figure out how something in here can also affect my outside life. So
let's talk about it. First going back to the Open, something that really fired me up is in the last week or two, we have this batch of athletes that, with all due respect, they're using their voice and like we're saying, hey, we can see where they're coming from. And I really do hope that stance they're taking does drive positive change to grow CrossFit, the community, and the games. But then we have this other batch that's really firing me up. Yeah. Rich Froning, Josh Bridges, and Ben Smith.
Oh, geez.
And these guys are like, why not? Almost sending a message of despite the drama, right? Or almost sending the message of yes, this exists, but the Open is more than that.
It's more than just the games.
It's more than the games. It's more than the unfortunate circumstances. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, dude, it just fired me up so much because here at Riptide, for us, like you were saying, it's like the Open for me, yeah, it's an annual test of fitness like you're saying, but for me, it's just another opportunity to come and hang out with you, with the coaches and with the members of the community. So the Open to me has such a different significance than it does for them. And I don't think one is better than the other. I don't think it's right or wrong. I don't think that what Rich, Josh, and Ben Smith are doing is necessarily better and righteous and these other guys are wrong. But I'm like, if we get to the same end result because these guys are in for the Open and they're fired up about it, man, that's just a path that I feel like I can relate to a lot more because it brings us together here at the gym.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And it just fires me up so much. And so it takes me back to the roots. Let's put the salt shaker back in the center of the table, as Nicole Carroll on seminar staff has always said, right? What does that mean? What is CrossFit? What's CrossFit to you?
to me, at its simplest, CrossFit is like about the community. So like, I came in here with like, I want to be healthier, I want to be fitter, and then over time I realized that like coming to see the same people regularly, it just became a part of my day. I coach noon class a lot, and I come in, I joke around with them, and I like to use the word recess. This is my recess. This is my opportunity to kind of like unplug and then get myself better physically, but also just like be like, hey, how's your day? What's going on? You know? And at first that was very different because I was someone who was in class, and now I'm at the front. So it's important that I still feel that feeling, but I also get other people involved in that feeling as well. Because for me, that takes the cake. I know so many people that come here, you know, try to compete, or they're people that just walked off the couch and like, I've never done this, I'm terrified. I feel fantastic being in this class. And then I also know people who've met here, got married, had babies. So it's more than just, hey, I want to try to get to the games. This is about, you know, the community and how you meet people, so on and so forth.
I love that, dude. And it speaks so much to the culture of CrossFit. And, you know, I think it's a good moment to bring in like Hyrox and World Fitness Project. And, you know, the way I see it, you know, and, you know, pardon here, I hope you guys don't take this the wrong way, open for debate. And if you guys want to be controversial about it, bring it on, as long as, you know, we're all friendly about it. But to me, you know, CrossFit is very much like a cult, you know, and some people be like, oh, cults are bad. Yeah, cults are bad because if you try to get out, you know, they threaten you with your life, kind of sort of thing. Here, you can leave the gym and we're going to miss you and we're just going to want you back.
Yeah.
We're not going to threaten you with your life. But it's the type of cult very similar to just any group out there, like religions do. You create this strong community and there's this feeling, this connection with people that we get here in the gym that has driven us to stay this long, to make it a career, to want to be coaches, gym owners, and impact other people. It's like the change, the impact CrossFit has had on our lives is so profound, it goes beyond the walls of a gym. Hyrox is cool, man. I love it. If you guys, you know, if for those of you out there, I have nothing against Hyrox. It's just a long CrossFit workout. And I think they're crushing branding and marketing. And I would participate in Hyrox with a buddy. But they don't have that methodology and culture that transcends. And hopefully, you know, they do a really good job, and who knows where they're going to go. But there is no marriages and families and kids coming out of Hyrox.
Maybe there is, we don't know.
Maybe there is, we don't know. But there is a unique combination of science, right? Methodology, a unique group of people, community that comes into like this like elegant circle that creates this group that impacts us more mentally and emotionally than it does physically. And I think that's what CrossFit is. Like you said, it's the community, it's the culture, it's what happens in between the ears. Like you said, it transcends beyond the walls of a gym, and it makes us want to do better for ourselves in other aspects of life. No one runs a Hyrox race, goes home and thinks, I want to be a better attorney, father, Hyrox coach. Like, people do Hyrox because it's just a fun activity to do. Awesome. Yeah. So I don't know, that's how I feel about it, but I just wanted to kind of use everything that's happening and bring it back to like home base. Hey, CrossFit is you guys right now who are spending weekend hours where you could be doing something super fun with your family to watch us to talk about something that's happening in less than 1% of the world.
Hopefully it doesn't take hours to get through this combo. I mean, I think a C word I would use, maybe like a club, you know, if cult seems like it's scary to you. But just like
the good kind of cult.
Yeah, we're just looking for community. You know, it's community. At the end of the day, like, CrossFit is based in science. It's like, hey, you do these really good things, and then you bring up your, you know, your fitness in every sense of all 10 words. What am I?
The 10 general skills.
I got general skills. Mumbling. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's more than that. I feel like I came in here and I didn't have that knowledge, and then I still had such a great time for the first couple of years. And I always came to a class that was like, I didn't see as much of the community, but then when I started coming to other classes, I started realizing, you know, there's more to than just that one class, and I've made lifelong friends from being here. But also, you know, I'm not knocking Hyrox. Like you said, it's a long CrossFit workout, but like, CrossFit, I trains you for life. You know, you come in here, you lift heavy stuff someday, you do gymnastics, you learn how to use your body, you do monostructural workouts, and then you do lots of fun combinations. But then for me, I'm a 30-year-old man. I never thought I'd say that out loud.
30?
I'm 38. 38.
Don't take off the 8 years.
38-year-old man.
Masters.
I'm a master's athlete, and now, 10 years later, I feel like I'm more capable as a person than I ever was when I was a 27, 26, 28-year-old, And now we have a house with stairs, and I just find myself, got to go up the stairs with my daughter. Oh, look, the puppy's acting up. Let's put the puppy in the other hand. And those are the things that, for me, it's just like, it's easy for those things to be hard if you're not ready for them, And I think what a CrossFit gym does for you is it just, no matter where you're at in life, it'll take you to the next level if you just stick around, hang out and trust your coaches and trust your community.
Dude, I love that. I wish I could bottle that up. Trains you for life, and it makes you more capable for life. And then it connects you with just wonderful people. And so the relationships you're going to get from CrossFit that we've gotten, the careers, and how it makes us believe in our future more than anything else out there, I think that defines CrossFit. So don't forget that. Don't let the drama, blur your vision. Be aware of what's going on in the world, but just remember that. And I think that this is enough to fire us up at Riptide. Freaking sign up for the Open, because the Open for us is this. This is what the Open is for us. Community, relationships, connections, and we're getting better at life.
100%.
You nailed it, dude. Good fucking job.
Fist bumper. What do I do
All right,
with my
guys.
hands?
Now we are done. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or whatever you're doing. Work, go back to your life. And we'll see you guys hopefully in another episode. Hopefully we have another guest, another conversation with another wonderful coach from the gym or one of you guys. Later, y'all.
Peace.